now listening to Lauer Road Radio.
Hey, welcome one and all to the #1 podcast, winter, spring, and fall. Talking sports for the thrill of it all. Hey, talking life, but we're killing it all. Jason and Dan with the master plan. These are dangerous men with the mic in the hand. Ha. Bonafide winners everywhere that we go. You're a part of the team.
Lauer Radio.
Dad light, Doug light, bright lights in sight. All right. What? Dad light, Doug light, bright lights in sight. All right. Yeah. Dad light, Doug light, bright lights in sight. All right. Bonafide winners everywhere that we go. You're a part of the team.
Lauer Radio.
Let's get it. What?
At Tanagra, when the walls fell, this is Dan Owings coming at you another time for Lauer Road Radio with my co-host, as always, Jason, in the studio today. This is a 10-minute episode. We have Gideon playing the part of Preston, doing a great job of it, and Stella is on the ones and zeros. This is a Mount Rushmore episode. The whole point of this episode, it's just 10 minutes long. It's not going to be normal. It's not your normal 50. Normally we do 52 minutes. Yeah. The reason we landed on 52 minutes is it's a story to tell, and one day we're going to tell that story.
Yeah. That might be its own episode.
It'll be 52 minutes long, just telling the story. But we said, you know what? We like 52 minutes. That's what we're going to stick with. But this time, 10-minute episode.
10 minutes, yeah.
And as you may or may not know, maybe you blindly pick things on your podcast app. Maybe this just came up and you're just listening to it on a run or something. Or maybe you know that this is the Mount Rushmore of 1987, what you and I, in our humble opinion, call the greatest year in the history of years.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Year 1 was a pretty big one. 33 was a pretty big one.
Yeah, that's true.
70 AD was a pretty big one.
1809.
1809 was a great year for some people. But we're doing 1987 because we think that's the best year that has ever existed.
Correct. Yeah.
Right?
That's when all things were right in the world.
It's like technology had increased to a point at which we could enjoy movies, air conditioning, the Walkmans, video games that weren't just a dot going around the screen.
Yeah, like Pong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We would be playing Mario Brothers. There'd be lots of things. So like technology had peaked out, I think, at that point. And then everything, technologically speaking, since 1987 has only made things ultimately worse.
Probably demonic in nature.
Probably.
Yeah.
So we feel like everything peaked in 1987. So this is the Mount Rushmore of 1987. Jason, I'm going to come in strong with my first Mount Rushmore suggestion. I'm going to say Ronald Reagan.
Oh, Ronald Reagan.
Right?
He's a big deal.
He's the president. It's 1987. He's had quite a few good years now in a row in 1987.
Yeah.
He's been doing a good job. When I think 80s, and specifically, let's face it, we're talking about America here.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on in Lithuania in 1987.
Berlin was a big deal.
I doubt it was a good place to be. And probably 1987 was probably a bad year. Maybe to be in Colombia. I don't know. But I know in America.
Well, Ronald Reagan has a famous speech in 1987 at the Berlin Wall.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall.
That's a big deal. That's a big speech.
It's a big one. So I say, I'm going to come in strong and say Ronald Reagan belongs on the 1987 America Mount Rushmore.
Are we going to slide the Cold War into that?
Let's slide the Cold War into
because
that.
The Cold War is like, what, 1960 through the 90s, or through...
Well, when did the wall
early
come
90s,
down? Yeah.
Late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, 30 years.
Sure. Yeah. The Cold War was forefront. I mean, we would have...
You could say 87, the end of the Cold War.
At Elgin Elementary, where we grew up, there were bomb drills.
Yeah.
We did bomb drills.
Yep.
At which the situation is, we're going to pretend that a nuclear missile is headed straight for the school. Yeah. So kids get under your desk.
Well, here's what's funny. I just had this conversation with someone. When we had tornado drills, we would go in the hallway.
Yeah.
When we had bomb drills, we would go under the desk. How does that work?
I think the thought was that it was just kind of like make you feel warm and comfortable until your inevitable death.
Until you're incinerated.
Yeah.
Yeah. That checks
What are
out.
you supposed to do about a nuclear bomb? So I would say we could throw. We're going to run out of time here, Jason, if we're not careful. So let's just say maybe. Okay, let me just give you a couple statistics real quick.
Okay.
1987, a gallon of gas, $1.07, a loaf of bread, $1.28, a movie ticket, $3.91. A new house averaged $92,000. The average income per year was $24,000. On the radio was "Walk Like an Egyptian."
Oh, I love that song.
"Shake You Down," I don't know, Gregory Abbott. "I Want to Dance with Somebody." Okay. And then on television, A Different World, Cheers, Golden Girls, Growing Pains, Who's the Boss? In movie theaters, Good Morning Vietnam, 3 Men and a Baby, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Fatal Attraction, Moonstruck. Those are the movies that came out, kind of big ones in the 80s. So there's some more things going on. World population was 5 billion at the time. I guess it's more than that now. So what do you think, Jason?
From our 1987, because is this the...
It's also the first Simpsons episode dropped in 1987.
I did see that. That's actually a big deal because that's still a running... That's the longest running episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
The longest running sitcom or...
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what, 35 years?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. I think 35 years.
So we got crazy. Ronald Reagan definitely on the list. What else do you want to put on the list?
Well, I was also going to say Alf.
Alf.
Now, listen.
Alf was a big deal for us, but I don't know that he belongs on the Mount Rushmore of 1987.
We're talking America's 1987? Alf?
Okay. Can I put... I've got some other things. Like, I'm thinking like more more not so concrete, okay?
Yeah.
Like here's one, 1987 Mount Rushmore. I'd like to propose Be Home by Dark.
Oh yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Because Be Home
when the streetlights come on.
Yeah, when the streetlight Be Home when the streetlights come on is a great thing in 1987. It's a wonderful thing.
That's true.
That does not exist anymore.
No.
Now, maybe it doesn't belong because it is not unique to 1987. It had existed as long as streetlights had existed before then. So maybe it doesn't belong.
But I will say, post 1987, that wasn't a thing anymore.
How about BMX bikes?
Oh, yeah.
When did that movie Rad come out? You remember that movie?
I do remember that movie.
Yeah, it was all about... I loved that movie. I thought.
Well, is that also... Oh, yeah, wow. 1987.
1986 is the when the Rad movie
Okay, well, we
out.
probably watched it in 87.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
It was making...
I have another thing on here. I didn't know this was a thing. In 1987, the leather multi-purpose position lounger was invented.
Yeah. It's common knowledge. The leather multi-purpose lounge.
Yeah, like a lazy boy.
Sure.
Multi-position.
Come on.
Multi-position? I love my multi-position lazy boy.
Of course you do. 1980 slang, gnarly.
Ooh. Cowabunga?
Dude. Like totally. Grody.
Eat your shorts.
Rad. Gag me with a spoon. Members only jackets. Reebok high tops.
Oh, yeah.
Parachute pants.
Parachute pants.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
because there's MC Hammer days.
Yeah. So what do you want to put on the list with Ronald Reagan? We gotta wrap this up.
I
here.
think I want to put
2
Simpsons on the list. I think Simpsons is a huge cultural thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Cheers was like in its peak at that
massive.
time.
But
Cheers
this
was
is a
crushing.
TV 1987.
Yeah, that's true.
If you get one TV show,
well, Simpsons premiered that year.
I think
it's gotta
that's
be
it.
Simpsons.
Are we going to put General
Ronald
Rocky?
Reagan. No, because there are no Rocky movies. I don't think. Maybe they did, but Rocky doesn't belong in 1987.
Okay.
I would say so. Ronald Reagan, The Simpsons. What else do you want to put in? Walk Like an Egyptian?
No,
I don't think so.
Let's do the streetlight thing because that's the end of an era.
You feel like that was the end of the era? You feel like it stopped right
in the
around
90s was different.
Yeah.
That's what they call the latchkey kids.
Yeah, latchkey
Mom and dad
kids.
both are working, and the kids have a key to the house, and they come and go whenever they want.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Be home. Well, let's say BMX bikes. I like that better.
Over
than Be Home by Dark.
Okay. Be home by dark on your BMX bike.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. So, Ronald Reagan, BMX bikes, The Simpsons. We got one more thing. This is America. It's 1987.
Fall of the Berlin Wall?
That was in 1987. It didn't fall in.
Well, he had the speech in 1987.
Well, it was a big speech, but it didn't happen yet.
We got one more we got to fill.
I mean, no major. Good Morning Vietnam was a big movie, but it wasn't like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Turns out 1987 wasn't
I
all
would
it's
throw
cracked up to be.
Maybe it wasn't so good. I would throw maybe Members Only jacket on there. That's a pretty. We don't have any other fashion.
Okay.
So.
Parachute pants.
You think
let's
pants?
put parachute pants
more than Members Only jacket?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here it is. Mount Rushmore of 1987. Ronald Reagan, The Simpsons, parachute pants,
and BMX
bikes. Parentheses, Be Home by Dark. All right. That's a show. This is Dan signing off for Jason, reminding you to always keep your stick on the ice and never wear the blue sweats.
Sit, boo, sit. Good dog.
I have spoken. Harrison? Nope.
Harrison. That's not Harrison. That's Gideon.